and Nyob to each and every one of you. In today's video, I am going to be showing you a very classic combo in the Hmong culture, which is shredded smoked beef with rice. Now, we're gonna make it into a rice ball so that we can pack it for a picnic. You could pack it for a road trip, a long haul flight, or for a lunchbox for your loved ones, or just make it any time of the year. Smoked beef and rice are amazing together. So if you do have the ingredients to do so, I hope you can give this recipe a try because it's super delicious and amazing on a road trip. So with that being said, let's just get straight to it and start cooking. Let's go. So let's start with making the rice. I have here about 2 rice cups of jasmine rice. I always measure my rice with the cup that comes with my rice cooker, and this cup is equivalent to about 3/4 of an American measuring cup. Now I'm using jasmine rice just because the flavor and the aroma of the jasmine rice goes really well with the shredded smoked beef. But you can also use short grain sushi rice or kalro rice. And if you want, you can also add some black rice in there to make it a purple color. I'm going to go ahead and rinse my rice about 3 times. Drain the water, and then we're going to place the rice straight into the rice cooker. And I'm going to add in about 3 rice cups of water. I'm going to place this into my rice cooker and then press the rice cook. Now, if you want to make the purple rice, all you need to do is add a tablespoon of the black rice into 2 rice cups of the short grain rice. And same thing, rinse it a few times. And then to that, I'm going to add in 3 rice cups of water as well. So while the rice is cooking, let's go ahead and do the shredded smoked beef. So here I have about 8 ounces of smoked beef, and shredded smoked beef is essentially just slices of beef that has been marinated in some curing salt. In our recipe, my mom likes to use some beef powder as well to give it a little bit extra flavor. And then we cook it over charcoal wood grill for about an hour to let it dry and get that really nice smoky flavor. And it looks something like this. And we usually make a big batch of it so that we can store it in a Ziploc bag, place it in the freezer, and then just take it out whenever we want to use it for soups, stir fries, or like I am today in this recipe, the shredded smoked beef. So I'm not going to show you how to make it because I do have a separate video on how to make that. So if you want to see that, I'll put the link down in the description box for you to check out and see how to make smoked beef. But here I have about 8 ounces of smoked beef that I took out from the freezer and thawed. We're going to cook this even more, so I'm going to cut this into smaller size pieces. Something like this. And I'm going to cook this in my air fryer. And I'm going to set this to about 350 on roast for about 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, just give it a really good toss and then put it back for another 8 more minutes. Now you'll have to adjust the timing depending on what equipment you end up using to recook the beef. But after about 16 minutes of cooking, this is what it looks like. It's fairly dark and it might look burnt, but it's perfect for me. Once you blend it, it's not even going to look like this. And the purpose of recooking it again is just to dry even more so that it's easier to blend. But it is preference. This is just how my mom taught us how to make it. I'm going to let this cool just for a tad bit, and then we're going to place this into either a food processor. You can also use a blender. Just make sure the blade's pretty sharp, and then we're going to pulse this until it is completely shredded. And it should look something like this. So since we already seasoned the beef, this right here is already good as it is, like this, over some fresh steamed rice. But we're gonna add some fresh herbs and some more seasonings to it so that it can be a little bit more saltier and help balance the unflavored steamed rice. So here I have some chopped green onions. I'm also going to use some cilantro that I chopped. And the more organic the herbs, the more flavorful and the more herbaceous this dish will be. I love using herbs from our garden because it just has more flavor. I'm also going to add some chili peppers. You can add as much as you want, and some fresh garlic cloves. To season this, I'm going to add in some mushroom seasoning. I have some fish sauce here and some sea salt. So in a mortar and pestle, I'm going to add in the chili pepper and the garlic cloves. Let's add in the salt and the mushroom seasoning. Let's pound this until everything is mashed up. And then add in all of the shredded smoked beef here, the green onions, cilantro, the fish sauce, and just give it a subtle pound here and mix it really good with a spoon. And that's pretty much it. It should look something like this. So into a bowl, we're going to add in all of the cooked rice. Give it a stir just to air out any of the excess heat. And then we're going to add in all of that shredded smoked beef. So this shredded smoked beef recipe is exactly enough for all of the jasmine rice that I cooked. So if you do end up making more rice, just make sure you double the recipe. Give this a really good stir until everything is coated. And it should look something like this. At this time, we are ready to form it into balls. Now, I do like to use cooking gloves here because it is a lot easier and the rice doesn't stick to my hands. I'm going to grab about a heaping tablespoon of the rice and just press it pretty firm until you form a nice ball like this. Now, if you cook the rice properly, the rice should stick pretty well to each other and form a ball like this. You can make the rice ball into even bigger sizes or even smaller sizes. It's really up to you. Once all the rice is used up, we're going to place it into a plate, or you can put it straight into a container and store it already, or enjoy it as it is already like this. Now, if you end up making the purple rice, this is what it looks like. I did make another batch of the shredded smoked beef and add it into it as well. Mix it really good and form it into little balls like this. And that's it for the shredded smoked beef rice ball. So I do like to pack this in a lunch box. You could also do it in a bento box. You can also store it in a plastic bag and carry it with you if you're going to go on a road trip or on a flight. But I'm going to put this in a lunch box here so that I can take it on a picnic. You can also use it to pack it for someone's lunch. And on the side here, I'm going to add in a little tiny foil box here and add in some Hmong style pickled mustard greens to kind of help cleanse the palate. If you want to see how I make this, I do have a video on that as well. I'll put it down in the description box. But that is it for my Hmong style rice ball. You have smoked shredded beef paired with rice, one of my two favorite combos that goes so well together. It's savory, it has a hint of smokiness to it, it is herbaceous and super delicious. Now I'm going to finish packing all of these. I have this super cute bamboo bento box that I bought that I thought would be so perfect to pack so that I can take it out on a really nice picnic. So I hope you can give this recipe a try. It is truly one of my favorites. Until then, I will see you in my next video.